I once knew this cat that lived 75 years, but he did nothing but walk both ways up to school. Hi everybody and welcome to Cats and Pats. Something that gets thrown around a lot is how old is your cat in human years? Or not just cats, but like dogs too. And the thing that gets thrown around a lot is like, take your cat's age, multiply it by 7, and there you go. So like a 4-year-old cat would be 28. And that also got me thinking, so how long do cats live? So yeah. That's my plan for today, figuring that out. So starting out, we're taking that number 7 and throwing it out the window. That just doesn't work, it doesn't make sense, get it out of here. That was far more aggressive than it needed to be. Now we aren't gonna have a precise definition of like a year translation, like a multiply by blank and be done with it, but we do have a consensus-ish between like vets and researchers and all. So the first few years of a cat's life are the primary developmental years. A 1-year-old cat is roughly equivalent to a human between like the ages of 10 and 15, with 15 being the more common number I saw. The next year of a cat's life is also a huge developmental jump, with a 2-year-old cat being close to a human that is like 24 or 25. From then on out, development and aging kind of progress at a much more linear fashion. Every year after 2 is generally credited at like 4 or 5 years. So if we want to define it in a somewhat mathy fashion, we have this piecewise function, which I didn't remember the proper name for that, so I had to ask somebody. So our cat X at 1 is roughly equal to a person at 15. I guess I could have used better labels. Our cat at 2 is roughly equal to a person that's 24. Man, I have terrible handwriting. Whatever. And then you get to the more fun one. So if your cat X is greater than or equal to 3, take their age minus 2 times 4.5 and then add the original 24. So by my calculations, a 4-year-old cat would be 4 minus 2 is 2 times 4.5 is 9 plus 24. Math is about 33 years old. So yeah. That's a thing. There you go, another reason math is important. Calculating how old your kitty is. So knowing that, or not knowing that, how long do kitties live? Well, just like people, there are a variety of factors that contribute to that. The largest one, that I read at least, is whether your cat is like exclusively an indoor or outdoor cat. On average, according to this one source, is indoor cats live about 10 to 15 years, and outdoor cats average about 7. What the definition of an outdoor cat is, I have no idea. I think what places are saying is like, an outdoor cat is a cat that's like outside dealing with predators and like finding food and like finding places to sleep, which obviously that's gonna age anybody. Now I'm a strong believer that cats should be indoor outdoor cats if possible, like if your living situation permits. Obviously if you're in the center of London or like a New York City high-rise, that won't work out very well. But when I read things like you shouldn't let your cat outside because there's like diseases and stuff out there that they might catch, I'm kind of like, get that garbage out of here. Yes, so on the surface that's true. I would also be safer if I never went out to like a movie theater or a public restroom, but you know, that's part of life and a quality of life thing. And I give credit to cats who are largely outdoors until the 1960s to be able to handle themselves. Not that you should be foolish. If you live right by a road, that can be dangerous. And that's the reason why my kitties right now are exclusively indoor kitties. But if your cat has easy access to food and water you can provide, and a nice, snug, safe place to sleep inside your home, they're good to go. Alright, anyway, time for me to hop off my soapbox. That was kind of a thing. I'm just like, I don't know. That's how I feel. So, alright, back to how long they live. Well, indoor, outdoor, we're talking 10 to 15 years. Growing up, all our cats were indoor, outdoors, and we got some pretty old kitties. Some of them might have made it to 17 plus. So another factor is breed, and some breeds live a long time. And I'll leave a link in the description below that lists like the top average longest living cat breeds. But for example, the Egyptian Mal has an average lifespan of about 15 to 20 years. And the Burmese breed has a lifespan of 18 to 25 years. That's according to this website. I think the oldest cat on record right now might only be like 24 or something, so that might be kind of suspicious. That's what they say. Also, the oldest kitty to ever live, according to Guinness World Records, was a 38-year and 3-day-old cat named Cream Puff. So that's cool. So what can you do to increase your cat's longevity? Well, vets recommend a couple things. Keeping your cats up to date on vaccinations is important. Feeding them a good quality, well-balanced diet is good. Make sure you treat your cats for like fleas and parasites. You should try to keep them engaged physically and make sure they get a lot of exercise, playing and all. And you should do your best to keep them mentally stimulated. It's also recommended to take your cat to the vet about once a year for a checkup and to see if they can catch any diseases early. Also, be on the lookout for changes in your cat. Like you can note how much water they're drinking, what their appetite's like, if that's changing, going up and down, if they're breathing differently, if you find any like weird lumps and bumps, if they're not grooming themselves, or if they seem to be grooming themselves a lot. Just look out for changes from the status quo. Also, dental care is supposedly a big factor, but I don't really know much about that, so that might have to be its own video. So yeah, your kitties can live for quite a long time if you give them a little care and a little love. And even if your cat is younger than you now in cat years, they'll probably be older than you before you know it. They get up there quick. So thanks for watching. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.